Hey everyone, it's Joelle here. Today we are going to go over my 5-star audiobooks of 2018. This does not contain spoilers, so don't worry, I'm not going to give too much away. But I did want to tell you some of the best audiobooks that I listened to last year. I discovered the land of audiobooks probably closer to the second half of the year, so most of these are from June and beyond. These aren't books that were published per se in 2018, but they're just ones that I went through. My library connects with Libby from Overdrive, so I got to use that app and listen to these for free because I had a library card. So really excited to share these with you. There's quite a variety, but most of them are adult thrillers because that's what I like. So if you guys are interested, then keep listening to me ramble. But I do want to let you know that I have my handy dandy notebook. Name that reference. I have my notebook, and I'm going to be glancing down to just kind of get some refreshers a little bit because it's been a minute since I've actually listened to these. So here we go. And these aren't in any particular order of like favoritist, most favorite. Yeah. But anyway, the first one is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. So this one follows a girl named Emma who, when she was in summer camp in New York 15 years prior, the 3 girls that she was bunking with in a cabin disappeared, and she was kind of the one who witnessed or kind of named the person who did it. And then 15 years later, she's invited to go back to the camp because it's going to be reopening and be a counselor. And some similar things are happening again. She can't seem to escape the whole, like, she's in the same cabin. She can't escape anything, really. And there's some people from the past that are back too. Reasons why I love this. I think the narrator did a good job, but also just the overall storyline. I've read and listened to a few of these like camp related stories before, but I liked this one. I felt like I could actually relate to Emma a little bit. She does suffer from some anxiety and everything, so I really appreciated her character, and I think Riley Sager is definitely becoming one of the ones that I do particularly prefer to pick up, considering that he's a male author who writes from a female perspective. He does a pretty good job. So the next one would be Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I'm actually currently listening to another Lisa Jewell book right now in audio. Lisa Jewell, I believe she's from the UK because her narrators are from the UK, and that alone just makes me really, really like listening to audiobooks. Something about listening to somebody with an accent just kind of really gets me in the zone. Like, I'm really into the story. I'm from the United States, so anytime there's a narration and a narrator that is from the United States, it's harder for me to get into it. I don't know. But this follows the story of a lady named Laurel. She's a mom, and one of her daughters disappeared when she was a teenager. And again, it's like, I can't remember how many years later, but she's kind of moving on with her life. She's got a new boyfriend and everything, but then things are happening and clues are coming about to maybe we can figure out what happened to her daughter. And she never really 100% let that go, that her daughter left, and she's still very determined. I like this story because, again, I really think that the narrator helped with it, but also I enjoy UK thrillers versus United States thrillers because I feel like something about the police force and everything and the technology that they have in the UK, which sounds kind of silly because, you know, the US is supposed to be really on it, but I appreciate listening to how the detectives and everything work, and kind of the CCTV and all of that. And also this one, Laurel was kind of a character that she's like one of those empty nester moms who still goes and cleans her other daughter's apartment, even though her other daughter like doesn't really care much about her. And I think it's because she kind of got put on the back burner since the other sister disappeared. But anyway, overall, I like the story. It's got a very much a mother-daughter, mother-son recovery kind of aspect, but with that thriller. I think my mom would like this one. Next would be I See You by Claire McIntosh. I freaking love this. And another reason why is because I absolutely love the narrator of Karen McIntosh's books. I want to say her name is Imogen something. But anyway, and this one follows Zoe, and she has two kids that are adults. They're at least over 18. And she is randomly looking through the newspaper one day and sees a photo of herself in an ad for like an adult escort or like one of those phone sex things. And she's kind of like, what? And then she starts getting really paranoid because she feels like people are following her. And then she starts to investigate more back in these newspapers from some other women who had been disappeared or have had violent crimes against them, and realizes that in back issues of the newspaper, their photos were in them. So she seems to think that something's going to happen to her. So it's a lot of the relationship between her and her adult kids, but also her trying to get over this paranoia, but also investigate these crimes, and her kind of freaking out and her involvement with the police department. Now, Claire McIntosh is one I really like because she actually used to be on the police force in the UK, which from that, an author who actually experienced it firsthand, cases and stuff, that's why I really appreciate her crime writing, because I feel like she can really relate and really put a good spin on these stories. So Claire McIntosh, she can do no wrong, but I specifically really liked I See You. The next one would be Crazy House by James Patterson. He also collabed with a female author on this book. Didn't know James Patterson wrote YA stuff. I've never actually I've never actually read anything by James Patterson before, but this, holy crap, was one that I listened to an entire day. I loved it. If you like the whole Hunger Games type of teen dystopian, otherworld, divergent-y kind of stuff, then this book is definitely for you. It follows these two twins. One twin goes missing, and the missing twin ends up in this kind of prison, but in the prison they take the kids that are like the best of the best and constantly do like SAT prep, which seems like hell. And also they make them fight. So they're trying to make this like super army of teenagers that are the smartest and also the strongest. And not only does this follow the one twin trying to find her twin sister, but it also follows the girl, the twin. Okay, so let me get their names. Becca's the one that's in the prison. So it follows Becca trying to survive this prison atmosphere, and then her sister trying to get to her. And it's like this dystopian world where the United States is broken up into, not districts, but they're like sectors or whatever. So yeah. The next one is probably no surprise to anybody, at least the people I watch on BookTube, is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet and The Closed and Common Orbit. Both are by Becky Chambers. These were ones that I was so into that I immediately went out and bought the third book because it wasn't on audio yet, and I was like, I need to hear this right away. But of course I haven't read it yet. This is a space kind of themed thing, and it's very much like Firefly. If anybody is a Firefly fan, I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan. I don't know if you could see down there, I have some Firefly Serenity comics, and then obviously all the Buffy stuff that's over there. But I just love this. The diversity between the aliens and the humans, the LGBTQ rep, the story of like the AIs and everything. Just every character was so good. And even though the first one and the second one they're tied together by one common character, but they're not like you have to read the first one to read the second one, if that makes any sense. I love them. They were addictive and couldn't stop listening. So those were amazing. Another one that I listened to that I gave a 5-star was Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, however you pronounce it. I was drawn to this because I had listened to a whole bunch of her other stories, which includes all 4 of her other stories. But anyway, this is basically about a journalist who goes back to her small town to investigate missing girls. She has a really shitty mother and a really creepy little sister. Sorry, this has been crooked the whole time. I'm really sorry. And she's also a cutter. She's a self-mutilator, but instead of cutting, not like the stereotypical way of cutting, she actually carves words into her body. So her entire body is covered in words. But I really appreciated her story and her point of view with her battling mental health, because I feel like that is something that is important to be represented, but also just the story itself was really good. I love Gillian Flynn stuff. Gillian Flynn. Somebody tell me how to pronounce her name. And also because I wanted to listen to this and read it because there was an HBO miniseries that came out. I don't have HBO, but I'm about to get HBO for Game of Thrones, so I'll probably watch this once I get that. Last but not least, yeah, if you're any kind of person who likes any type of reading and read it all in 2018, then The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo should be no surprise. It surprised me that I actually liked this book because totally not my genre at all. Not going to go too much into it. It follows Evelyn Hugo, Hollywood starlet in the 50s and 60s, and her many husbands, but there's a twist, of course. I loved her. Her character was kind of one of these, like, she just did so many shitty, bad things, but you couldn't help but love her because she just did whatever she could to get ahead in Hollywood, and I feel like it's really relevant today. But also just, it was just beautifully written and narrated. I appreciated the multiple point of view narrations between the past and the present. And yeah, it just was good. Anybody who read it, just, I think everybody loved it. So I even bought it for my best friend and sent it to her because I loved it that much. So yeah, but anyway, that's it for my 5-star audiobooks from 2018. Let me know if you've read or listened to any of these. Let me know your favorite adult thrillers and your favorites from 2018, whether they're audiobook or actual book, because I would love to hear that. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed, because then you get to hang out with me some more, and I do like hanging out with you peeps virtually via the comment section, so definitely feel free to comment. Thumbs up if you can, and then also my social media links are down in the description box. So I will see you all in the next video. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Okay, bye.